Good evening. This is the National Democratic Congress rally out at River Sallee. And I'm on the ground just interviewing persons of interest. I tell you, I am now with former Prime Minister Tillman Thomas, the former representative in Parliament for this constituency, St. Patrick East. Brother Tillman, what are your thoughts? Based on what you are seeing, how does that reflect to the last election?
Well, no, this is really one of the greatest political revival in recent times. When you look at the gathering here this afternoon, it's really huge. And I really must commend the leadership, the present leadership and the organizers for mobilizing and creating such a positive impact to mobilize all these people to be here. It is really a great feeling to see that a party that has had some challenges, but to bounce back now and it's looking so positive, we have to give the leadership and the organizers credit.
Absolutely so indeed. I am really amazed at the large number of persons here, and the meeting isn't going to start maybe not until about 6:30, and already the crowds is just swelling at all edges, swelling all over. And plus I understand there have been some motorcades coming along, and some of them are not even here as yet. You must be feeling very proud for a man who has really looked after this constituency and indeed fathered the NDC through what it is now today.
Yeah, it is really a proud feeling because I always maintain that the NDC has laid a good foundation. Notwithstanding the challenges, the foundation was there, and those who right now at the leadership, they are sitting on a solid foundation. Yep. Because, just a little information, do you know that the NDC, as a political party in government, is the only political party in the Eastern Caribbean that has repealed criminal libel from the books? Because of our concern for freedom of information and democracy, we repealed criminal libel to free up the media and the journalists. I'm just mentioning that as the foundation that they are building on. Again, when we were in office, we did not discriminate. When we introduced the school books program, it was for all the children of Grenada, and it was administered by the school, not by political people, not by political offices.
Indeed.
You know, we introduced, again, the ICT, showed the villages, a few villages in Grenada, and a lot of young people had access to the computer to learn, you know, how to use the computer and to familiarize themselves with it so that they could equip themselves for bigger things in life. So again, we have always looked at things in a positive way to improve the lives of the people. But as I say, ups and downs in politics, we have had some setbacks too. But now I think we're on the right course now. And I see a very positive future for the NDC.
Wonderful indeed. Well, for an organization which has been in the doldrums, having lost a number of elections, to come back in such a positive light must be history in the making as a political party in the region. Most would have folded up by now.
Yes, well, it is, but we must remember the history of the NDC too. Because in 1999, we lost all the seats. And in 2003, we actually chased them out of office. We won 7 seats. This time now, we're in a better position. So I expect Dickon and his team to really capture the next election because they're in a better position than we were in 2003. Won 7 seats, so they could win up to 10, 12 seats. Yeah, so I say the history is there. We have done it before. Terry, I believe that, politically speaking, the spirit of the Grenadian people, that spirit of brotherhood, love, commitment, and patriotism, that spirit lies in the National Democratic Congress. And it will always revive to provide leadership for the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Billy Martinique.
Absolutely so indeed, and you must be proud of having been one of the foundation members. Indeed.
Very proud of it. I've never given up on NDC because I know, as I say, the true spirit of the Grenadian people resides in the National Democratic Congress.
Wonderful indeed. I will now be looking for your new representative for St. Patrick East. I noticed him somewhere about earlier on. Would be nice to have a chit-chat with him. But
He's a man that has provided great service to this country. We worked together when I was in the in government. He was in the Ministry of Finance. He being a son from the soil here, and a man of capacity, a man who could really provide leadership for this constituency, and I expect him to provide that leadership. He's a leader in his own right, if you look at him and the contribution he has made. So I expect the people of St. Patrick's East, and in particular River Sallee, to give him that support.
Great. Well, thank you very much, former Prime Minister. And if you do see Mr. Cornwall, tell him, please, I'm looking for him so I can chit-chat with him. Thank you so very much indeed. Have a good one. Okay. Well, we are moving here and through the crowd, and I'm seeing some familiar faces, solid NDCites. What are your thoughts on what you're seeing here this evening?
It's a massive crowd, and I love the crowd, and I hope stand up to it and live up to it.
Great, wonderful indeed. What are your thoughts, brother?
Same thing as the man say, honestly, yeah, we need a change, and right now is the time now.
You're ready for that change?
Are you ready for the change?
You're ready?
Are ready? Ready for everything,
You're
serious.
ready?
Every time I'm ready.
All right, okay. Well, we will move on to, I know you want to say something. What do you want to tell the Grenadian people?
Well, we have to vote for the NDC, and we have to be strong with them. Fuck it, Michelle.
Oh, Lord. My apologies. You're on live. The police won't come for you. My friend, we are live. And wanted to get your comments with respect to happening here this evening.
Well, it's better than expected. And hopefully, everyone vote according to their heart.
According to the heart.
Yeah.
Wonderful indeed. Wonderful indeed. All right. See this fella here. A man who is a solid NDC supporter from day one. What are your comments, thoughts? How do you here?
What I'm seeing here is total victory. I haven't seen nothing different besides victory. Because it's time that we get rid of this fella. And Grenadians understand that it's time has come, so we all get ahead of it. Demonstrate to him that he's going and he's gone. Thank you.
Going. All right.
I want to hear all you. I can't hear you. Well, we're going to start. And you know, in all things, we bring the Lord first. So I'm going to invite to the microphone at this time.
Now you don't want to talk.
Charles from
All
St.
right.
Patrick's East to do the invocation. Sister Charles.
Thank you. Today's rally is about unity. And now, as I'm about to pray, I would like that everybody to hold hands, because it's unity. We will like each, it don't matter who you're standing by or you don't know who you're standing by, just hold. The mic is not working. All right. As I was saying, the theme today is about unity. So as we are about to pray, I would like that I would like that everybody would hold somebody's hand. You don't have to know the person who is standing next to you. So let us show that we can unite. Let us show that we can unite. The people that are sitting down on the bleachers, let us show that we can unite. Okay. Heavenly Father, I come before you this afternoon. I first want to give you thanks for the gift of life. I give you all the praise that we are able to gather here at River Sallee. I thank you for the many blessings you have bestowed upon us thus far. As we are going to start the program, I plead the blood of Jesus over this entire atmosphere. As we are about to head into the election, I pray for peace and unity among all. I release any anger, bad feelings, resentment, and any other wrong attitude before you. We lay it at your feet, and we release and forgive those that has may wronged us. Lord, I ask that you lift up and cover all the candidates with your blood. I pray for wisdom and good judgment for every person that are gathered here and those that are listening on the live. You said that all kings shall fall down before you, and all nations shall serve you. You are the great I am. I thank you that no weapon that is formed against us shall prosper. Lord, I ask that we live in peace Lord, I pray that we live in peace in this country. Let skillful and godly wisdom enter and overflow within our hearts. Father, I ask that you direct every decision that will be made by the leader of this party. Lord, let unity be among our people, and let we all be of one language in perfection and harmony. Lord, let there be no division, no fraction among us. Show us how to be humble and unite in areas that we need to agree. So whatever we are asked will come to pass. Lord, bless each candidate with a heart of humbleness, humility, unselfishness, gentleness, mildness, and with patience, bearing in with one another. May the godly and kind, loving way of God continue to live among the candidates and we as members, as we unite for the betterment of this country. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you very much, Sister Carmen. And without further ado, I will ask everybody to stand for the national anthem of Grenada, Carquoipinimadik. This is going to be sung for you by Little Miss Melody Garrett. Melody.
Hail, Grenada, land of us, we pledge ourselves to thee. Heads, hearts, and hands in unity to reach our destiny. Ever conscious of God, being proud of our heritage, may we with faith and courage aspire, build, advance as one people, one family. God bless our nation.
Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, we're not sticking. No, we're moving right into Miss Carissa Noel. Miss Carissa Noel, to bring you some welcome remarks. Bring her on with a round of applause, brothers and sisters. Carissa Noel.
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. I have the honor and privilege to welcome you to St. Patrick, beautiful and historic St. Patrick. Welcome to beautiful St. Patrick, the home of Grenada's amazing northern attractions. This is the home of the Belmont Estate, River Antoine Rum Distillery, Batway and Liverpool Beaches, the Liverpool Lake, the Liverpool Piton, and the Welcome Stone. Looking out on Grenada's most beautiful landscape, we have Sandy Island, Green Island, Sugarloaf, and our sister islands of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Welcome to historic St. Patrick. This is the home of the Carib Leap, a place that reminds us of the defining moments in our history, a symbol of pride and resistance, a place where the Kalinago people stood up in defense of their freedom. Today, we gather in that spirit and resistance. This is the spirit of the people of St. Patrick. Today, we gather to make a stand. Like our Kalinago ancestors, we find ourselves on the brink of a very steep precipice. It is time to push back and reclaim Grenada. Let the resistance begin with St. Patrick. Today, we also gather in the spirit of unity. As a young person, I am concerned about the Grenada my generation is inheriting. I believe we have to unite and work together to secure our nation's future, not only for my generation, but for future generations. So whether you come from the north or south, east or west, whether you consider yourselves old or young, rich or poor, yellow or green, welcome. Let us all get together and love one another. Again, welcome.
Brothers and sisters, man, all you call someone and say, brothers and sisters. All you want to say, yellow. Well, yellow. And watch now. I didn't just invite yellow here, you know. I invite green. I invite red. And watch me now. And the last people I invite is blue because they ain't have no use for that blue uniform again. So brothers and sisters, yellow. That's what I'm talking about. I want to bring on to sit among us on the stage, brothers and sisters. Mr. DJ. Mr. DJ. Mr. DJ, I want you. Mr. DJ, I want you to play forward. But I ain't want it loud, I just want it nice and soft in the background. We just want background music, brothers and sisters. Only like that, we go get a little background music. So, brothers and sisters, let's bring on to the stage. That's too loud, that's too loud. Go down a little bit. Go down, go down. Yes. Our stalwart, Elwin McQuilkin, the Black Wizard. Oh, yes. We're taking the people out like a wave. Get them out like a wave. Yeah. So we're moving forward, forward, forward. Thank you. And, brother, we're moving on to brother. And, brother, we bring it on to the stage our national campaign team trainer, Glenn Noel. Bring on Glenn. Whoa. I tell you, we ain't leaving nobody behind. Brothers and sisters. Yes, take a look away there, Brother Glenn. Yes. Brothers and sisters, let's welcome to the stage former political leader and Prime Minister of Grenada, Uncle Tilly. Uncle Tilly, come on, take a look away. Take a look away. Forward, move the country. Forward, forward, forward. Take a look away, Uncle Tilly. Take a look away. Yes. Forward, oh, we go away. Forward, forward, forward. Oh, yes, brothers and sisters. I say we're not sticking. And we bring it to the it to the stage. Former political leader of the National Democratic Congress, Brother Nazim Berg and Mrs. Berg.
Forward with NDC. Forward, forward, forward. Oh, we go way. Forward.
Yes.
Forward. Too long.
Now let's come and take a little wave.
Mama guy, so we moving.
Yes.
Forward, forward.
Yes.
Forward, forward.
Brothers and sisters, put your hands together and welcome to the stage our former political leader, Adrian Persuader Thomas.
Too long. Empty promises in my eyes. Too long. You're ignoring the people cries. Too long. All your days since 1995 and you don't do nothing. Only when election time comes, so we moving.
Yes.
Forward.
Yes.
So we moving. Forward. 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 So we moving. Forward. 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 So we moving.
Well, watch.
Forward. 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 Move the country. Forward. Forward.
Well, all you know.
Forward. With NDC.
Mr. DJ, go down a little bit, go down a little bit, go down a little bit. Go down a little bit there, Mr. DJ.
Forward. So we moving.
But so that DJ taking me on, you know, he ain't going down at all. Mr. DJ, go down a little bit, go down, go down, go down. Go down. Yes. All you see them there? All you see them there? Hold on, hold on, hold on. Where all you see them? All you see them there? What they tell all you? They tell all you they are the next place, eh? Well, watch them there, watch them there. Watch them there. They too lie. I say, Mr. DJ, hold on. Mr. DJ, what I say? They too lie. Say it for everybody to hear. They too lie. Yes. 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 They want to lie on us. But we ain't going down so. Brothers and sisters, watch me. Watch me. Now is the time where we go in and bring the candidates and them on stage. So, Mr. DJ, bring up the thing a little bit, eh? Not too loud, but where we could hear them. So, brothers and sisters, from the constituency of, somebody bring me a little water then, oh Lord, I'll go make my throat dry. I ain't getting a little water. Bring a little water for your boy now. Hey, from the constituency of South St. George, let's hear it for Andy Williams.
Forward, forward, so we moving. Forward, 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 move the country. Forward,
take a little wave, Andy.
forward, so we moving. Forward, forward,
Yes.
forward, move the country. Forward,
From the constituency. Thank you. Thank you very much. What? I get water like they're going crazy with water, you know. You see what they just call for thing that just happened here? You know, we just deliver in the party, you know. You're telling me, hey, all you, let's hear it for the representative for St. George Southeast, Brother Philip Telesford.
forward, 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 move the country. Forward, 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 so we moving. Forward, 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 move the country. Forward, 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 so we moving.
Yes.
Forward,
And from
the country. Forward,
St. Andrew Southwest, let's hear it for Lennox Stores and Drums.
country. Forward, 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 so we moving. Forward, 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 move the country. Forward,
Yes.
forward, forward, so we moving. Forward,
Yes.
forward, forward, move the country.
And brothers and sisters,
Forward, so we moving. Forward,
from the town of St. George, let's hear it for Claude and Joseph.
forward, so we moving. Forward, 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 move the country. Forward,
And from the constituency of St. Mark, let's hear it for Queen's Britton.
Forward, 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 move the country. Forward, 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 till we moving. Forward, 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 move the country. Forward, 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 till we moving. Forward,
Hey!
forward, move the country.
Watch. I see Queens come and give me a kind of thing so. Watch that. The funny thing about that is he have eyebrows. All right, so we're moving on. Brothers and sisters, from the constituency of St. John, let's get it for Carriages.
Move the country. Forward, 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 till we moving. Forward, 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 move the country. Forward, 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 till we moving. Forward,
Yes!
move the country.
Woman power! And so, brothers and sisters, from the constituency of St. Andrew Northwest, let's hear it for Gloria Thomas!
Forward, forward, move the country. Forward, 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 till we moving. Forward, 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 move the country. Forward,
Yes! And Quince, stand up and give me that dance again. Give me that dance again. Yes!
the country.
Yes!
Forward,
Yes! 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 Yes!
forward,
Yes!
the country.
That's what we talking about. You know why I want Quince to come and give all of that dance? Because from St. George Northwest, we're bringing out Jonathan LaCroix.
Forward, till we moving. Forward, 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 move the country. Forward,
Yes!
forward, forward, till we moving.
And Anna,
Forward,
all you ready for it? From St. George Northeast, let's hear it for Run Redhead.
forward, move the country. Forward, 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 till we moving. Forward, 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 move the country. Forward, 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 till we
Hey!
moving. Forward,
What's that? I love these young people too bad.
forward,
From
forward,
the constituency of Carriacou, pretty much England, here for
move the country.
Tevin Andrew.
Forward, till we moving. Forward, 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 move the country. Forward, 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 till we moving. Forward, 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 move the country.
Oh, yes.
Forward, forward, till we moving. Forward,
All the drummers, we want all you backstage. All the drummers, brothers and sisters, drummers, we want you now. No. And so, brothers and sisters, from the constituency of St. Patrick's West, let's hear it for Joseph Landau.
forward, till we moving. Forward, 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 move the country. Forward, 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 till we moving. Forward, 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 move the country. Forward, 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 till we moving.
All right.
Forward, forward, move the country.
All you.
Forward, forward,
Look at the crowd. Look at the crowd. Look at the crowd. Look at the crowd. Yes. Yeah, no. Look in the crowd. Brother Joseph Anton. Yeah.
country. Forward,
Yeah.
forward, till we moving.
Yes! Hey! All you know is proper thing? Proper thing? You what? Take care of fall there. Take care of fall. Yes! All you know, we hype it up. Come on, bring up the music, Mr. DJ. Yes, forward.
Move the country.
Yes.
Forward. So we moving forward.
Yes.
Forward. Move the country. Forward.
Yes.
So we moving forward.
Yes.
Forward. Move the country. Forward.
All right, go down, Mr. DJ. Let me hear the drums there. Whoa! Ba-ba-dum! 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 Whoa! Yeah! Well, all you know, we in St. Patrick's. If you don't have drum, you don't have nothing. Whoa! Yes! Yes! Whoa! Yes! Yes! Where Joseph? Whoa! Yes! Whoa! Yes! Whoa! Yes! Whoa! Yes! Whoa! Boy, this reminds me of when I was in Karakou for Tevin. Oh my God, we bring Tevin out from up the street. All the drumming. Yes. St. Patrick's have it. 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 Boy. But what's true? Well, all you know, the voice of the people is the voice of God. And the people want the political leader. So let me hear it for Brother Deacon.
I say we tired. People tired. We want a change. We tired. I say we tired. We can't take it again. I'm on we tired. We can't take it again. So we moving forward.
Yes.
Move the country forward. So we moving forward.
Yes.
Forward. Move the country forward. So we moving forward. Move the country forward. So we moving forward. Move the country forward. So we moving forward. Move the country forward.
Watch.
So we moving forward. Move the country forward. So we moving
Oh, yeah.
forward. Move the country forward. So we moving
The political leader of the National Democratic Congress.
forward. So we moving forward. Move the country forward.
The political leader of the National Democratic Congress.
Country forward. So we moving forward. Move the country forward.
The political leader of the National Democratic
Forward, 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 till we moving.
Forward,
forward, forward, move the country. Forward.
So, I'm going to call to the stage Brother David Andrew.
Forward, 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 move the country. Forward, 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 till we moving. Forward, 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 move the country. Forward, 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 till we moving.
Oh, yes.
Forward,
And from St. Andrews, Northeast, yes, no. We bring it Tessa Sensei.
forward, forward, till we moving. Forward, 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 move the country. Forward, forward,
Yes.
forward,
All the Tessa Sensei.
forward, move the country. Forward, forward,
Yes.
forward, till we moving.
Watch me.
Forward,
What is going to happen next is so significant that we're going to ask the political leader to call the candidates, the final two candidates, because we're in the constituency. So, Mr. Political Leader, over to you. You can call them, they go come.
Who missing? Who missing? Who missing? Who missing? Who missing? Who missing? St. Patrick West, where are you? Joseph Arnold, where are you? St. Patrick West, make some noise for your boy Joseph Arnold.
Yes. Yeah, that's that. Mic check, mic check. I want the mic a little higher. Give me a little volume on the mic. On the monitors. We want to hear you. Mr. Political Leader, one missing.
Sallee, Sallee, River Sallee, River Sallee, River Sallee. Here comes your boy. Here comes your boy. Look in the crowd. Look in the crowd. Here comes your boy, River Sallee. Calling Dennis. St. Patrick's East, presenting Mr. Dennis Cornwall.
Let's hear it for Brother Dennis Cornwall.
I alone, oh God.
I alone, me mammy.
I alone.
I alone, me mammy.
And me mommy then gone away.
Me alone, me
And me mommy done gone away.
Leave me alone behind.
And me mommy done gone away.
Leave me alone behind.
And I alone, my God.
I alone, me mommy.
And I alone, alone, alone.
I alone, me mommy.
And I alone, alone, alone.
I alone, me mommy.
And me mommy done gone away.
Leave me alone behind.
And me mommy done gone away.
Leave me alone behind.
And me mommy leave me behind to roam.
Leave me alone behind.
And I alone, alone, alone.
I alone, me mommy.
And I alone, alone, alone.
Alone, me mommy.
And me mommy done gone away.
Leave me alone behind.
And me mommy done gone away.
Leave me alone behind.
And me mommy done gone away.
Leave me alone behind.
And I alone, alone,
I
alone.
alone, me mommy.
And I alone, alone,
alone,
alone.
me mommy.
And me mommy leave me behind to roam. I alone.
Me mommy.
And me mommy leave me behind to roam. I alone.
Me mommy.
And me mommy die and gone away. And she leave me alone. And me mommy die and gone away. And I alone, alone, alone.
I alone, me mommy.
And I alone, alone, alone.
Yes! It's when the shot digging the leader the blessing. Oh, yes. Brothers and sisters, you're free to have your seats at this time. Thank you very much. Oh, yes, let's hear it for the candidates for the National Democratic Congress.
So we're moving forward.
Oh, yeah.
Forward. Move the country. Forward. Forward.
Watch. If that's somebody calling my phone, watch. Who calling my phone? Don't call my phone. I using my phone. All right. Now it's not no time for no phone call. Now it's time to bring on the first speaker to address you this evening. Yellow. I say yellow. Yes. Bring him on with a round of applause, brothers and sisters. Our candidate from Karakwa Pinimatik, Brother Tevin Andrew.
St. Patrick's, Yellow Army, it's a sea of gold in St. Patrick's. I have no doubt in my mind come June 23rd, when the polls are closed, the first two seats to be declared for the National Democratic Congress will be Joseph Andal. St. Patrick's East and St. Patrick's West. If they were sure on getting blows this election, NDC in the tail. They think we didn't ready? They think we didn't ready? It's joke they're making. It's blows, 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 and more blows in their tail. Sisters and brothers, workers of the National Democratic Congress, polling division captains, indoor agents, runners, linesmen and women, 1 in 20 personnels, candidates, are you ready? Are you ready? For if there is ever a time your political party needed you, that time is now. For if there was ever a time your country needed you, that time is now. For if they think they are the big tree, well, we are the small axe, sharpened, ready to cut them down. From Carriacou to St. Andrews, all the way. We big and we ain't stupid. Election come, all kind of impossible thing happening. I say to you, when they give you the window, take it. They give you the ply, take it. They give you money in envelope, take it. Money in jersey, take it. Take it. Vote them out. Them out. Them out. Them out. They give you road, take it. They give you wall, take it. Take it. On election day, vote them out. The next prime minister of this country has to be Deacon Mitchell. So I say to you, comrades, I say to you, brothers and sisters, I say to you, party members, I say to you, party workers, boots on the ground, boots on the ground. Every hill, every valley, we must walk, we must knock on every door, because there is work to do. There is no safe seat for any political party in this country anymore. Lacrat giving them blows and more blows in St. George's Northwest. I say, Lacrat giving them blows and more blows. The fact that the man trembling, talking all kind of nonsense, Lacrat in the tail. Lacrat in the tail. And this political party is standing with all 15 candidates to bring it home on June 23rd. So I say to the young people of this country, we had enough. We had enough of the joblessness. We had enough of the underemployment. Young people, we deserve better than what we are receiving. No more handouts. No more of this nonsense giving us sprat and making us believe that we're getting tuna. We deserve better. Keep your scrums. We want better. Keep your mama guy and your move along. We want policies that will take this country forward into prosperity for all the people. So on June 23rd, 2020, what are we doing? Vote, and more vote. Blows, and more blows. Blows in it. Boots on the ground. Boots on the ground. Every hill must be climbed. Every valley must be walked. Every door must be knocked. Comrades, your party needs you. Your country needs you. We need you. Work, show blows for them.
Watch now. Let me take off my little cap and things so you can see my haircut. You understand? I went by my barber today. His name is Wonka. Wonka called me this morning. He said, you need to get a trim. You can't be going up so and tell people, I's your barber. So you need to come. So I went and I take my trim and I sit down in the man's chair and think so. Wonka sort me out and looking proper, ain't? Yeah. Boys, when the man tried to shave my eyebrows, boy, I get problems. I said, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. Because the only people who does shave their eyebrows is the fellas who does dye when the dye run out. You understand? So when the eyebrows get gray and they don't have enough dye, they have to shave that. Brothers and sisters, watch me not sticking. I didn't come here to give all the no jokes this evening, you know. I'm not supposed to be giving all the no jokes, but boy, it has had jokes. All kind of jokey thing happening, you know. All you find all kind of jokey thing happening. Imagine my brother Nas had to put out a whole statement today because people calling them and saying how Nas working with them, and calling them and say, well, if you have information, Nas say you could talk to me. The man had to put out a whole statement, watch. So they could lie. They could lie. Tell me, they could. They want to know they could lie. They don't lie too much. Brothers and sisters, let's hear it for the next speaker. He comes from this constituency. His name, what is his name? Well, how is only one person in the crowd know what the man's name is? What is his name? Brother Dennis Cornwall!
So we moving forward, forward, forward. Move the country forward, forward, forward. So we moving forward, forward, forward. Move the country forward, forward, forward. So we moving forward, forward.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Political leader, Brother Dickon Mitchell, Deputy Chairman of NDC, Brother Sylvester Qualis, General Secretary of the NDC, Brother Larry Barry,
Brother Cornwall, you want to use this mic?
No, this mic. Okay. All our NDC candidates, current and past executive members of the National Democratic Congress, NDC supporters in the diaspora, NDC supporters throughout the length and breadth of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, brothers and sisters of St. Patrick East and West, welcome one and all. It is with great humility I stand before you here tonight in creation, River Sallee, Plainfield, a place I have fond memories of as a boy or a young man growing up in this lovely community. I remember the many hours spent playing football and cricket, flying kites, playing hide and seek in the grass and surrounding bushes, or telling Nancy stories sitting on the grass where we are now standing. I learned to swim in Savansweze, River Antoine Lake, catch crabs in Vetig and Savansweze, Batway, Livera, catch crayfish in Jokazo River with my boyhood friend Elijah Antoine, the brother of our famous Masban leader, Mr. Lazarus Antoine here in River Sallee. I had a close encounter with drowning in the ocean between Sugarloaf Island and Green Island during the summer of 1982. On a 12-foot boat returning from fishing, sank in the channel between the boat islands. There were 12 of us. Fortunately, we all survived. There was one of the 12 who could not swim. We braved the rough ocean over an hour, and now I can tell you that story. I honestly believe God had a plan in store for me. My alma mater, the River Sallee Government School, sits next door and still continue to produce very good students. I still remember my many schoolmates such as Jennifer Graham, John Charles, Roosevelt Graham, Lydia Toussaint, Kenneth Mullins, Glenn Toussaint, Ted Toussaint, Bertrand John, that's BJ, Joy Buddy, and many, many more. Too numerous to mention. My former principal, Mr. Mullins, and my many teachers, including Mrs. Joyce Alexander, Mr. Geraldo Charles, Mr. Noel, Mr. Ryan Vivek, Mr. Delano Vivek, Jim Alexander, Mr. Scott, Mr. Roberts, just to name a few. I'm saying all of this to say that I am a son of this soil right here in River Sallee. My navel string is buried here. To those distractors who want to tell you I am not from River Sallee or that I'm from somewhere else in Grenada, let me say loud and clear. I am not a come here. I am not a come here. I was born in River Sallee to my parents, Mr. Anthony Sylvester, better known as Cap, and Mrs. Teresa Sylvester Nee Cornwall, better known as Miss Popo. Our house is still located at the eastern end of the playing field. My father, Cap, as he was fondly known by everyone in River Sallee and surrounding villages such as Roselle, Montrose, La Poterie, Hermitage, Plains, and many, many more neighboring villages around. My dad was a hard-working man, a popular man, an honest man in the village. He took care of all his children, 23 of us. He was a man of many skills. He was a farmer, he was a fisherman, he was a good dad, and much, much more. My parents are both now deceased, and so their soul may rest in peace. I am sure that both my parents would have been very proud of me standing here tonight, representing the National Democratic Congress as candidate for St. Patrick's East constituency. I am confident of becoming your next parliamentary representative for St. Patrick's East and to be the voice of the people of this historic constituency. Most persons would like me to tell them who is Dennis Sylvester Matthew Cornwall. I am the right man. I am your man. I am an authentic son of this soil in River Sallee. I was an educator at 2 schools in St. Patrick's, the River Sallee Government School and the MacDonald College in Sutton. Most of the students will remember me as the Spanish and mathematics teachers at the MacDonald College during the period 1989-1990. I'm a trained economist from a reputable university in the Socialist Republic of Cuba. I have vast experience in the public and private sectors locally and regionally. Most people have asked why I got involved in frontline politics. My whole life has been of service to the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, and the wider Caribbean. I've always had the desire to serve my country at the highest level. I am here to continue my service to my people of St. Patrick's East and the wider community. Now is the right time. Now is the right time. In 1981, I was granted a scholarship to study in Cuba. That's economics in Cuba. In 1988, I graduated with a master's degree in economics at the highest level. I came back to Grenada to serve my country. Here am I seeking your blessings to serve you in Parliament of Grenada. I want to be a voice of the people of St. Patrick's East in Parliament. Brothers and sisters, I humbly accept the nomination of St. Patrick's East constituency branch to represent the National Democratic Congress as your candidate. I now require your unswerving support to realize this goal of becoming your parliamentary representative after the June 23, 2022 election. I am here tonight to continue my service to the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, and in particular the people of St. Patrick's East. I therefore look forward for your overwhelming support in making this a reality. Join with me, the people of River Sallee, Roselle, Montrose, Montreat, Snellhall, Hermitage, Liverpool, Lafayette, Sutton, and every corner of St. Patrick's East to vote for change on the transformational agenda of the National Democratic Congress. Now, why did I align myself with the National Democratic Congress? It is my belief that the National Democratic Congress transformational plan for Grenada will enhance the lives of the people of the St. Patrick's East. Brothers and sisters, I urge you to join with us in making this a reality. NDC is associated with good governance, transparency, and accountability. NDC is associated with good governance, transparency, and accountability. I am asking you for your support. Together, we will work to make our constituency a better place. An NDC government will bring an end to the many sufferings the bad roads, the lack of opportunity, the poor health care, the high unemployment, the neglect of basic human needs, the increase of poverty level throughout the rural areas in Grenada, the handout mentality that has kept our people in permanent dependency mode and poverty, the fear that is instilled in our young people that if you chose not to support the NNP, they will not eat the food. This is a disgusting policy of the NNP. The NNP government is guilty of not addressing the burning issues and cry of our people and continue our sufferings. Most of you are asking what I intend to do for my constituency when I am elected representative of St. Patrick's. Over the past month, I have walked through the village of St. Patrick's East constituency, and I have listened attentively to my people. I have heard the cries of the many sufferings and abandonment from the new National Party government and party. An NDC government will bring an end to all your sufferings in St. Patrick's and throughout Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. I intend to bring an end to all the sufferings. Poverty is of great concern to me in rural areas of Grenada and in particular St. Patrick's. Unemployment is rampant throughout the rural areas of Grenada. I will put our most valuable asset, our young people, to work. We will make our arable lands productive again. We will replant our lands with crops that we eat. We have to be more resilient people. We have to feed ourselves. We have to revisit our traditions. We have to grow what we eat. We have to reduce the scourge of poverty in the rural areas. As part of an NDC government, we will reduce the unemployment index to less than 30% in the first 2 years in government. NDC will move swiftly to change a long overdue imbalanced economic development in Grenada. NDC will create enabling environment to bring factories, agro-processing business, poultry farming, and pig farming to the rural areas of Grenada and to reduce our dependency on imports to feed our population. We need to reverse the trend of spending millions of dollars on food importation. We will resuscitate and achieve food security in Grenada during our tenure. A country that cannot feed itself is doomed. NDC will create greater synergies between agriculture, tourism, and the other sectors of the economy. Too much of our lands are not productive. I will work with the landowners to make arable lands productive again. We have seen our experience during the COVID-19 pandemic. We need to engage our landowners and put those idle lands back to production. I will support all our farmers and fisher folks in St. Patrick's to maximize their production. We will make available water, storage facility for produce, establish a farmers market among other benefits. Roads and infrastructure. In every village I visited during the House Swaps campaign in my constituency, there was a common cry for roads that were abandoned because those roads started by a former NDC government. In the first 6 months of this NDC government in office, my government will complete all those abandoned roads in Montrose, Pointfield, River Sallee, and Hermitage. Some of these roads need just a few $100,000 to be completed. How can an incumbent government abandon the people of St. Patrick's in such a blatant manner? Youth development. Our children and youth are our backbone of our future generational development. I will provide adequate sporting facilities to allow our children to grow and develop their full potential. We need to improve what has been done in the past. Upgrade our sporting facilities in our villages, such as River Sallee, Roselle, Montrose, Liver, La Pachuna, among others. In the first year in office, an NDC government will survey the needs of every village and upgrade our sporting facilities. Some facilities can be upgraded in the first 6 months, while others may take a longer time frame. I will redirect the energy of our youth to more positive activities through sports, music, and the performing arts. We owe our children a brighter future away from violence, crime, drugs, and deviant behaviors. Employment. An NDC government will put an end to contract workers in the public service as soon as it takes office. There is no need for a parallel public service in Grenada. All workers will be given permanent status. This will allow these workers to enjoy the same benefits that a current public servant now enjoy. We will also ensure that all workers benefit from pension and gratuity once and for all. Pension and gratuity. I will support the payment of gratuity and pension for all public servants once they meet the qualifying criteria. My government will pay the outstanding pension due to public officers within the first 6 months in office. My government will raise swiftly the necessary funding and schedule payment of pension and gratuity to all our workers. In conclusion, I encourage all Grenadians at home and in the diaspora to support the transformational agenda of the National Democratic Congress. Vote for change. Let us move forward with the National Democratic Congress in the driver's seat. A vote for Dennis Cornwall is a vote for progress and development. Let us together put an end to dictatorship, your sufferings, corruption, lack of opportunity, lack of integrity in public office. Sticky hands must come to an end in Grenada. A vote for Dennis Cornwall is a vote for Dick and Mitchell, our next Prime Minister, Petty Martinic, Carriacou, and Grenada. NDC is a party that stands for good governance, transparency, and accountability. Therefore, let us move forward with NDC. I thank you.
So we moving forward, forward, forward. Move the country forward, forward, forward. So we moving forward, forward.
Hey! Watch! That conclusion there, I want to whine, but then I remember, it never a man up here like to whine too. Let me call that man little tiny, whiny. Watch! They say the man so hand so safe. $12,000 from Lotto. Stick up in the hand, you know. Only wine for that. Wine. Yeah, that little tiny whiny. Lotto money stick up in the hand. First the hand say, brothers and sisters, I didn't come here. Watch now, I have to tell all you something. Qualis tell me to tell all you, and as I say Qualis, all you, big up Qualis. Sylvester Qualis. And let me tell you, not here alone, you know. Terry Forrester here too. Yes. So here now, Qualis tell me to tell all of this. It had a politician. All you might know who. He went and visited a kindergarten. So he asked the lady in the kindergarten, well, how much a month did it charge for them children them to eat? The lady said, well, $400. He said, nah. Cut that money down to 300. No, not at 300, to 100. Cut it down to 100. That's too much money. Them children, them eating too much, cut it down to 100. Well, all you know, all you must know the politician are talking about. But Diana, so the next month after that, he went and visited jail. So when he go by the jail, he asked the warden, he said, warden, how much it does take for all of to feed them prisoners on a daily basis? The warden said $300. He said $300? Only that? He said increase that to $1,000. So the man he got in the prison would ask him, but he said, well, boss, when you're going by the kindergarten, you tell your man reduce the money from 300, them, you had them training them starving, a little $100. And you come in the prison and you raise the price to $1,000. Yeah, him now. He says, so here now, when we leave politics, we going in a kindergarten? When all you get that, all you could laugh. Brothers and sisters, when we leave politics, we're not going in a kindergarten. All you know who we're talking about. Anyway, We moving on, brothers and sisters. We'll call this time with the girl that joke. If all you can get it, deal with Qualis. Right. So now I want to bring onto the stage a youngster. Her name is Javonna Mark. If you all been paying attention to Facebook recently, there was a young lady who came on with a lovely poem called Have a Heart. So we're bringing her on to do the poem, and then she's going to do a little testimonial afterwards. All you ready for Javonna? Well, all right. Let's hear it for Javonna Mark.
So we're moving forward, forward, forward. Move the country forward, forward, forward. So we're moving forward, forward, forward. Move the country forward, forward, forward. So we're moving forward, forward, forward. Move the country forward.
Good night, NDC. How is everyone doing tonight? Okay. My poem is entitled. Okay. This one? Okay. Okay. My poem tonight is entitled Have a Heart. The date is set. Election is near. Every Grenadian, please give a listening ear. Hoping to my words you adhere. It's not about the little debushing here and there, or roads appearing while salaries are disappearing and taxes are overbearing. While the unemployment rate keeps rising, yet people keep cheering the Imani can cut it just a bit. Come on, you must admit, as we continue to fall into the vulnerable pit, how long does it have to hit before the oppression we stop it? Opening our minds and gaining wisdom as spoken in scripture, the vulnerability, the lack of stability, while our so-called leaders are masters who we rely on so our hunger can be fed. Cutting our legs off to keep us crawling, calling for change, but yet we fail to turn the page. Promises upon promises, are we yet to forget the pandemic or the systematic propaganda? Come on, Grenada. Our future lies in our hands. With the heart we stand, so let's bring the change. Jobs are easy to find. When? Where? Have you tried the Imani? I am a living proof that not every young person who applies gets selected. We can't deny the fact that one of our greatest challenges as a people is the rate of unemployment in our country. Knowing we are the future, but yet still it's hard to build ourselves up, not much jobs in the jobs market due to lack of substantial investments made in our country. Our motto says, ever conscious of God, we aspire, build, and advance as one people. Do we live up to this? Is this motto being implemented in our country? Thank you. Whereas our young people are treated as two people, those with government links and those who know who. According to the World Population Review, the top 10 countries with the highest unemployment rate, with Grenada in 7th position with a percent of 22.9, makes you wonder, when we as a people will stand to change this? Children are unable to complete school because their parents can't find a job or get a job. Children and adults going to sleep with empty stomachs, turning to drugs and other criminal activities. Young people wanting to build themselves but can't qualify for a loan, can't travel, or even get a visa. Is this a cycle we want to continue to repeat? Not being able to afford proper health care, or somewhat not being able to sustain ourselves in instance of world crisis, only to make the bare minimum and battle the high cost of living? Let's change this vicious cycle. Change is coming!
So all you feeling that? All you feeling that? Watch the man. Bye, no bye. Hello, hello. I got to put that socks below my arm like a bit there. Warm to you. Put back what? No, hello, I have it secure under my arm, you know. You want it in front here? You like it? All you feeling good there now? Boy, anyhow, my voice goes soft. Watch how the voice sounding clearer here. And when I put it here, it's sounding a little muffled. I'm putting it back there. We're going to try and work with it. But brothers and sisters, all you ready for the next speaker? All you sure all you ready for the next speaker? All you sure all you ready for the next speaker? Well, yeah, what? The next speaker giving a fella that all of us know plenty worries. Worries and problems, you know. Yeah. They say if all them young people and them vote up in that constituency, the man might lose his seat, you know. So all you know who I'm talking about? All you know who I'm talking about? Let we bring to the microphone Brother Jonathan Lacrette.
Let me know, NDC eyes. Let me see you show me the yellow. Show me the yellow. Show me the yellow. Show me the yellow. Are we voting for Laco? Voting for Laco. We voting for Laco. 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 I say we voting for Laco. 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 Forward we moving. Perseverance to Cherry Hill. Forward we moving. Grenville Vale to New Hampshire. Forward.
Let me see your hands. Hey. 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 Hold on, DJ. We are on the tune again just now. A friend of mine meet me the other day. She said, Laco, but we know you. How you quiet so on them people platform? And you're behaving so stoush and diplomatic. I say, I'm waiting for the rally. Yellow thunder! I can hear you! Make some noise! Hey, 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 hey! Hey!
Let me see you show me the yellow.
Show me the yellow! Show me the yellow! Hey! Show me the yellow! Come on! We voting for Laco! St. George's Northwest! Hey, 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 hey! St. Patrick's West! Hey, 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 hey! We go leave segment 2 for our next time. I just get on bad, you know, but I had to take it easy tonight. I don't want to read me out or put me on back bench. So I want to behave myself on the political platform. But the excitement that you're seeing is the excitement of the change process that is taking place. And we are accustomed saying that a wind of change is blowing. I want to correct that. The wind has already blown. And what they are feeling is the devastating effects of the wind. So next time you pass and you see a greenhouse, just hold it and shake it. Just shake the house. Shake out all the occupants. Because the wind has already passed. My colleagues,
both present and past, the building blocks of the National Democratic Congress who are here tonight celebrating with us, joining in the change process, and soon to be my cabinet colleagues, I salute you on the platform. Can we give them a round of applause? I need that chair, Brother Cornwall, please. Thank you. I didn't want you to play the role, but you're sitting in it, so. I want you to listen very carefully for the next 10 minutes. Tonight I am here as the prosecutor, and court is in session. So all rise. The Honorable Judge Jonathan Lacrette presiding. The case of suffering youth against current administration. The prosecution calls to the stand the current administration. Do you swear, Mr. Administration, sir? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Mr. Administration did not answer. As the prosecutor over this case, Mr. Administration, sir, is it true that your administration engages in fear-mongering as a political tool to silence our youth? So you're not answering the question. Remember, you are under oath, and you have an obligation to tell the truth. Is it true, sir, that victimization has become the order of the day in Grenada's public service? Mr. Administrator, sir. Is it true, Mr. Administration, that you have unfulfilled promises to our young people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique of a good life, of oil and gas that will prosper this nation and therefore create hundreds of jobs for unemployed youth? When youth unemployment is at its best because of the lack of opportunities for our young people. Mr. Administration, sir, you are being prosecuted tonight and you are under oath. Is it true that our youth do not have access to low-income housing and that they are not able to afford basic standard of living? Is it true, sir, that it was the plan of your administration to ensure that you craft a system of dependency so that our young people remain poor, exposed, and skinned to the wind? Is it true, sir, that you are an 80-year-old youth minister, the oldest in the Western Hemisphere, and even after taking up office, you have not become young? Mr. Administrator, sir, is it true that your administration has been fighting the same parents and grandparents of our young people for pension and gratuity and docked salaries? Come on, sir, the court want to hear you tonight. You have all kind of mouth and all kind of platform. Tonight you're being prosecuted. Talk up.
Is it true? Is it true, sir, that you issue idle threats to the nation Imani workers if they do not vote or support your administration, when you know fully well, Mr. Sir, that the program is grounds for potential recruitment for your administration? Is it true, sir? In many countries across this entire universe, youth form some of the most progressive movements, some of the most militant movements, as they fight for equality, as they fight for social justice, as they make inroads into the space of inclusion. And I want you to understand, those of you that are watching via social media, the young man that is strung out on drugs, and because you have received 40 and 50 no's, and you feel like all hope is lost, and nobody cares, sir, your time has come. The young woman that got pregnant in Form 3 and had to leave secondary school under a cloud of shame and disgrace and did not have access to education after school because your parents support a particular party. You are denied access to something that taxpayers pay for. Young woman, there is hope. And all of my youth across the Tri-Island state of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, draw your lens near and listen to the voice of thunder. The change is here. Tonight we prosecute the current administration. And the verdict is in. Guilty, 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 guilty. On all 9 counts of political transactional politics. It is time for our youth to become proactive in the process of change. You form in Grenada some of the most social progressive movements in the 1980s. We can do it again. You did not hear me? We can do it again. Advances in technology, we can do it, we can do it, we can do it. Your time has come. And may I remind you, young man, young woman, this is a democracy. Therefore, your voice cannot be taken away from you. Come on, come on. Your voice cannot be taken away from you. They cannot shut you up. It is your democratic right to speak. And therefore, as our youth become more aware, we are going to form part of the organized approach to be or to bring the vote on election day. It is time that our young people rewrite history. Yeah. 2022 the youthful population of this nation is about to rewrite history and use their finger as their declaration of intent. Vote them out! Your time has come. DJ, let me run it. Hey, 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 NDC massive! Hey, 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 we voting for Laco! Hey.
I say we voting for Laco, Laco, Laco. Forward we moving, from perseverance to cherry to New Hampshire. Go make the place better.
Watch me now. Somebody going and put on a depends tonight. I wonder if it's one of them pull-up ones or one of them that they had to wrap wrong like a diaper. But I know somebody going and put on a depends tonight. Hey, let's hear it for Jonathan Lacrette. Watch me. When we joking hands, we joking hands, eh? I said when we joking hands, we joking hands. So I bring in a professional hands joker next. That man could joke a hands. That man is the next parliamentary representative for the constituency of St. Patrick's West. Let's hear it for Joseph Adol.
Moving forward, forward, forward. Move the country forward, forward, forward. With NDC forward, forward, forward. How we going? Forward, forward, forward. Too long.
I is the only glasses man that I was have to take off my glasses to see. Political leader of the NDC and future Prime Minister of Grenada. Do I have to call his name? What's his name? What's his name? I can't hear you. Deputy political leader of the National Democratic Congress, Brother Adrian Persuader Thomas. The man so good, they want him. But let us tell them that they cannot dangle anything in front Persuader to get him, and they definitely cannot dangle anything behind him. So he's staying right here. Former Prime Minister and former party leader, Uncle. Former party leader, Brother Nazim. Former General Secretary, former plenty things, and still hardcore member, Brother Glenn. And I tell you, Brother Glenn know a lot of things well. That is why they call him Glenn Know Well. Sister Jackie Burke. Brother Wizard. When the election over, we still have bills to pay. When the election over, Richmond Hill go get some new inmates. Other members of the platform, and my good comrade from St. Patrick East, and my former Cuban mate, compañero Dennis Cornwall. Rise, brother.
And you notice something about Cornwall and Andal? Cornwall and all. Both of us surname end with A-L-L. And it means that we are going to serve all the people. Sisters and brothers, we're hearing a lot nowadays about safer hands. Folks, safe hands drop the oil and gas ball. Safe hands drop the shrimp farm ball. Safe hands drop the chicken farm ball. They drop call center ball. Sisters and brothers, we say they have shaky hands and sticky fingers. Shaky hands and sticky fingers, and we are going to get rid of them. They have been tried by His Honor, Judge Jonathan Lacrette. They have been tried and they have been found. They have been found guilty as charged. So where are we sending them? They have been tested, and I was the teacher. They have been tested and they have failed. Tested and failed. And they are delivering. They are delivering. They are delivering poverty. In the 23 years that Mr. Shaky Hands and Sticky Fingers have been mashing up this country, poverty has gone from 32% to 40%. So they have been delivering poverty. And the lady from up the road, she said that they want to deliver more suffering. But this set of sufferers, we have suffered enough, and we are going to get rid of them. Sisters and brothers, some people in this country bold-faced. Some people bold-faced. A man ever try to pick your pocket, try to thief your wallet, and when you catch him, he say, "Mister, look your wallet." The man who is responsible for the deaths of over 200 Grenadians unnecessarily now coming to beat his chest and say he protects us from COVID. That was the man, when the whole world was trying to protect itself, was opening our airport at midnight to letting people from COVID country come in here to inspect us. Don't forget that. Sisters and brothers, it pains my heart. It pains my heart when I know a lovely little lady from the villa in Sates is no longer with us because she perished at the Hilarion home due to COVID. And it's Mr. Shaky Hands and Sticky Fingers that caused that. He let COVID into our borders. Sisters and brothers, don't forget. Mr. Shaky Hands and Sticky Fingers is the man who has been fighting with busmen for years, who has been fighting with healthcare workers for years. Shaky Hands and Sticky Fingers have been fighting with teachers. Brother Wizard, you fighting with lawyers, you fighting with priests, you fighting with teachers, you fighting with beasts. That's all. Don't worry, he days of fighting soon come to an end. Sisters and brothers, we could spend all night talking about all the bad things that they do. But NDC is a party of good news. Better days are coming. The people of St. Patrick West, you have better days to look forward to. You have a man, Joseph Andal, who is a roots man like anybody else. The other day a man say, "I like to sit down and play draft with them busmen." I love it, I don't like it. And I will continue to do it because they are our brothers and sisters. I don't believe in class. I am a roots man and I go die one. I come from Shantimel, St. Patrick. My father
is still alive. 91 years old. He lost a leg 3 years ago. Claudius Tallboy Andal from Livera. Retired fisherman. My mother was an agricultural worker and a small farmer. I used to go with her to the market in Sotez to sell oranges, mangoes, Tanya, Blogo, and Dashin. That is where I come from. That is my roots. Sisters and brothers, my motivation is to see my people of St. Patrick West and the entire parish move up to the top, not only on the map, but economically, socially, and in every way possible. The National Democratic Congress has a transformational agenda for St. Patrick West. Our motto is bread for all. Bread for all. Our sisters and brothers who support the other party, they deserve to eat too. And I assure them that there is room in this heart of love for all of them. There is room for all of them. We have to embrace them. I am going to be a parliamentary representative, not for the NDC, but for all of the people of St. Patrick West. Sisters and brothers, Sotez is a beautiful and quiet town. But it is so quiet that sometimes on a Friday, people wondering if it's a public holiday. You could play a 2020 match on Main Street. No obstruction. Business has ground to a halt. Very little economic activity. And all the young people of St. Patrick have to go down to St. George's to find work. NDC has the solution to that. In the same way that St. George's University has transformed the southern part of Grenada, the National Democratic Congress is going to attract to St. Patrick what we call a conservatory. A conservatory is a university that focuses on drama, television, creative arts, performing arts, music, visual arts. Sisters and brothers, if we can attract such an institution to St. Patrick, thousands of foreign students will be living among us. They have to live somewhere. They have to eat. They have to move. And they have to learn. And this is where the real jobs for our people are going to come in. NDC, vision. Healthcare has been a headache in our parish. We have gone back to such an extent that 30 years ago, women used to be able to give birth at the health complex under Canal in Sotez. 30 years later, you cannot do that. And they calling that progress? No, sisters and brothers. NDC is going to refurbish that facility to ensure that you don't have to run to Mirabeau, pay taxi, run to St. George's, ride over all potholes and humps. We are going to fix that. We are going to reopen and upgrade the facility between Monkridge and Snell Hall to provide easy access to healthcare for the people of those communities and to ease up the pressure on Hermitage and Sotez. The bridges in Monkridge have been crying out for repairs. And I am happy to see that after over 20 years of the same set of people in power, just before the election bell was rung, some work has started. We are going to complete the center bridge in Monkridge, and we are going to work on the main one. The infrastructure of St. Patrick has fallen apart. The people of Prospect, Darby, and Mount Alexander, Mount Williams, have been treated as outside children, or worse yet, as stepchildren, unloved and unwanted. The road has been allowed to deteriorate to such a state that it is now dangerous to the life of the people of those communities. NDC will transform that. 4 years ago, they said, give them 5 more years to fix the breakwater. Instead, the beach at Mount Rodney is now totally broken up. We no longer have a beach there. NDC, sisters and brothers, is going to complete that project and ensure that steps are taken to restore the beautiful Mount Rodney Beach and establish a recreational park there. The people are suffering. Simple things as street lights. Many people do not have access to that. All it takes is for the parliamentary representative to say to Grenlet, put a street light there. And the next day you have a street light. A simple thing like that. You have a government in power 20-something years and they have you in the darkness. We are going to bring the light. Tourism. All of the tourism eggs are placed in the True Blue, Lansapin, and Granan's basket. We demand our share in the northern part. And Brother Deacon Mitchell, Mr. Prime Minister, I am putting you on notice. Brother Cornwall and I will fight for the people of St. Patrick, East and West, to ensure that we get our fair share of the pie. Sisters and brothers, have you ever tried to give somebody directions to come to your house? All right. When you reach by a place where the bridge kind of cabuse, and it have an old mango tree with a branch that cock out so, and then you walk a little bit, you go see an old truck park up there. Walk up the hill, bend a corner to the left, bend the next one to the right, then go down the hill, and you go see an old lady sit down under a sapodilla tree. Right there, stay. We are going to put an end to that. Our country is going to be properly labeled. When you reach in Mama Can, you're supposed to know you're in Mama Can. And when you get to Chantimel, you're supposed to see a sign saying Monjalou, behind Duquesne, Tusili, Rose Hill, Monva, Lale. Simple things, sisters and brothers. 20-something years in power, shaky hands and sticky fingers can't fix that. Sports. We have spent hundreds of millions of dollars to build stadia. Football stadium, track stadium, cricket stadium. But nobody's playing cricket anymore. Nobody. NDC will reintroduce primary school hardball cricket. Too many of our little boys barely bigger than mine. We are going to reintroduce netball. We have produced an international netballer in Letitia Cato. We can and we will produce more. Hermitage produced Devon Smith in cricket and Daniel Smith. We are going to produce more. But we have to start investing in the children from an early age. Sisters and brothers, Brother Lacrette mentioned it. The use of threats, intimidation, blackmail, and bribery in this election process. Grenadians, and in particular, this country belongs to you. This little rock belongs to you and to you. You are as equal a shareholder in it as I am or as anybody else is. So not because somebody has the title of minister or member of parliament, they can tell you who to vote for. You vote for who you want. It's your business. And it's NDC you're going and vote for. Young people, you have nothing to fear from an NDC government. Nothing to fear. Listen to this. And I'm speaking now to the wardens, the imanis. Let me tell you a story. A little boy grew up with two people who are not his biological parents. They took care of him. And when they got old, he took care of them. They died. And you know what happened? Their children, who never looked out for them, came and threw him out. Yes, but guess what? If the parents who brought him up, the foster parents, were proactive and wanted to protect him, you know what they would have done? They would have got a lawyer surveyed a piece of land, cut it out, give him a deed and a plan so that children can put him out. That is true love. So if Grandpa Shaky Hands and Sticky Fingers had loved you so much, he would have protected you by making you permanent so no government would be able to send you home. But we are not vindictive. We look and we learn. We learn from mistakes of the past, and we are not going to repeat mistakes that we have been exposed to. So we are going to ensure that no government can send you home after any election by making you a permanent worker with all attendant benefits. Sisters and brothers, more people to talk, more things to say, and a little bit of vibes coming up. So let me wind down. A man come. All you vote for me, 4 days and 4 nights are fed. You know why he's saying that? That is the same man who a few months ago say, we hungry mouth. All you remember? All you remember, don't forget, you know. When you go in and crack that X, don't forget. He said we hungry mouth. So you want to give us cake and what? So whereas he promised you 4 days of fat, we promise you 5 years of prosperity. So tonight, sisters and brothers, I ask you, in St. Andrew, Northwest, Sister Gloria Thomas will cut there. I would say. Tevin Andrews will share licks and make Lady Snow booze. Brother Jonathan Lacrette, he gonna beat Shaky Hands to death. Brother Andrew will beat, Imani Queen like a boo. Brother Cornwall, when he hold Lady Sufferer, she must fall. And Sister Sincere, she's so lovely and sincere. Eh? She go tell the little one, skate out. Brother Deacon Mitchell, I ain't gonna say nothing about him. I ain't gonna say nothing about him. You know some fellas, they doing as if government is a lumberyard. They giving out. And Brother Runner head, you gonna bust up your head. Sister Karine, you must win. Brother Quince, you gonna make her wince. And Sister Claudia Joseph, you go hit her with the left. Brother Toes, gonna share some blows. Brother Tellus Ford, you are going to share some. Hotspot! Hotspot! All right, I'm gone.
Better days are coming.
Change your ways.
So we're moving forward.
Hey! Watch. I tell all you the man coming and drunk some ass. Yes.
Patrice again.
Why?
And again. I want you doing with your time. I hope you're not wasting time. Oh, what you doing with your time? I'm gonna take on right now.
But better days are coming. watch now, watch now. That man is wait. That man is a Shantwell. I tell all that man is a professional and nest joker. He come, he joke up the answers, he joke up the answers, he joke up the answers. Watch. That man joke the answers so much, I forget who coming next. You know? I forget who coming next. Mr. DJ, see if you can help me out there. I put away my phone and I don't know who coming next. I don't know who coming next.
Thank you, Father, for blessing Sister Tessa. You gave her the vision for the country run better. There's something about this strong woman. Tessa is the one for we. Yeah, yeah. A strong woman indeed, so educated. She would lead with pride, no hesitating. A good leader is what notice need. Hands in the air and let us sing.
Hey! Before Sister Tessa come, Mr. DJ, hold on. Watch me. P3313. P3313. You're blocking somebody that need to go now. They have an emergency. P3313. Translated into Grenadian, that is P3313. Go and move your vehicle now. Mr. DJ, run the tune again there. Let me bring in Sister Tessa Sincere.
Tessa is it. Tessa and the NDC. Mr. DJ, run it from the top. Let the people hear. From the
Thank
top.
you, Father, for blessing Sister Tessa. You gave her the vision for the country run better. There's something about this strong woman. Tessa is the one for we. Yeah, yeah. A strong woman indeed, so educated. She would lead with pride, no hesitating. A good leader is what notice need. Hands in the air and let us sing.
Thank God for Tessa. Tessa sincere. Tessa sincere. Tessa sincere. You know she gone clear. Tessa and the NDC. Tessa and the NDC. Tessa and the NDC. Tessa. 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 All right. All right. The vibe's nice. The vibe's nice. All you know, Tessa, in her no behavior. So let me start properly first. Uncle Tilly, Brother Nazim, Brother Persuader, Brother Andal, my brother Deacon Mitchell, other special invited guests, my colleagues who will be joining me in cabinet, my colleagues who will be joining me in cabinet, I acknowledge you, I salute you. NDCites! That's how we done song. NDCites! Let's take it one more time. NDCites! Yellow power! Let's go. Yellow power! Yellow power! Yellow power! Yellow power! All right. That's how we supposed to sing. We ain't afraid nobody. We ain't afraid nobody. We going forward. 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 All right. I don't want to get rid out to Brother Lacrette. I don't want to get rid out of the church either. You know,
so I'm trying to behave myself. But tonight I've been given the task to speak to you on the NDC's agenda of ending the suffering for healthcare in Grenada. All who want to end the suffering for healthcare, say forward. All who want to end the suffering for healthcare, say forward. Right, right. Oh, you know I like thing. I like the thing. Good night, St. Patrick's. Good night, St. Patrick's. Thank you for having us. I am happy to be here, to be with my brothers, Andal and Cornwall. Powerful men. Men with a vision for the parish. We voting them on election day, yes? We voting for Andal on election day, yes? We voting for Brother Cornwall on election day, yes? Right. All right. We voting for all our 15 candidates on election day. We bringing home the win on election day. All you, let me behave a little. Health. The National Democratic Congress, your NDC, is committed to improving the health of all citizens in our Tri-Island state. The NDC believes that good nutrition, physical exercise, and a balanced lifestyle is essential for our health and well-being. The NDC is serious about health. The NDC is serious about health. The NDC affirms that our health is part of our greatest wealth. And so, the NDC's policy, our policy, focuses on preventive, stopping it before it happens, curative, dealing with it if and when it happens, and rehabilitative, helping fix the problem when it happens. NDC has a plan for health care. NDC has a proper plan for health care. The NDC, therefore, have developed policies that would create a health and wellness revolution that will result in better health care and better health outcomes in Grenada. If you are ready for a health care revolution, say forward. If you are ready for a better health care system, say forward. That's nice. That's nice. And we're not just speaking about ourselves in Grenada. We are speaking about our friends and family in the diaspora, so they know when they come home, they have proper health services. We are talking also to our visitors, so they know when they visit Grenada and something happens, we have a proper healthcare system to address their needs. If you're ready for proper healthcare, say forward. Right. So here are some of the plans that we have. One, and I want you to listen to that one very carefully, because we've been hearing it and hearing it and hearing it and hearing it, and it bothers me. It bothers me that we still have nurses who are on contracts. It bothers me that I am working in public health and I am hearing that we still have 200 or so nurses who are not regularized, They are under contract. It bothers me. It bothers me. It bothers the National Democratic Congress that our nurses who are trained, who are qualified, are working, giving human service, but cannot be regularized. It bothers me that throughout the pandemic, we were called to beat pans and pots and bottles and sung horns. And we responded because we appreciate our healthcare workers. But when we say regularize our healthcare workers, it is falling on virtual deaf ears. It bothers me that a young female nurse can meet me in Grenville and say to me, Miss Sincere, I requested a pay slip and I was given an invoice. I requested a pay slip and I was given an invoice. I was given an invoice because I am on contract for service. True story. True story. Nurses are on contract for service. Our nurses' services are needed every day and all day. They have been working throughout. They have been working long hours. And sometimes when we go to the health facilities, we become a little impatient with them. But I always encourage us, be patient, because these are the people who have been on their feet for days and days and days. Some of them working nights. When we're sleeping, they're working. And yet still, they have to suffer to get regularized. Yet still, we have nurses suffering for 10 years on contract. 10 years. And NDC administration is going to put an end to that. If you are for regularizing the nurses and healthcare workers in our country, say forward. If you are in favor of adding more specialists to our health personnel, say forward. If you are ready for specialist services in Grenada, say forward. You see, what they have not told you is that there are Grenadian professional Grenadians with medical degrees, specialized degrees, who have showed up and decided to provide services to Grenada. But they're not creating the enabling atmosphere for these persons to function. So instead, we have a lot of our brothers and sisters going abroad to get specialist service, creating a burden on your pockets, creating a burden on your neighbor's pockets, having us going around in trucks asking for donations, and we don't mind helping. But there are persons who are willing to provide the same services here, and they're not given the opportunity. If you want specialist services in Grenada, say forward. Yeah, we're going forward. Better healthcare is a must. Better healthcare is a must. We're not negotiating that at all. If we are talking productivity, then we have to talk health. Because a healthy population is a productive population. Let me speak to you a bit about mental health. Let me speak to you a little bit about mental health, and I want us to listen. We're going to take a little trip down the road just now with the music. But right now, I want you to listen to this important aspect of health. Mental health. We celebrate a day, and everybody talk about mental health. But when it comes to taking the heads-on, hands-on approach, we are awaiting that still. So when we sat in Parliament and we asked, where and why is there a deficiency of counselors in our schools, we knew what we were talking about. When they answered, they said, I can't remember the gentleman's name. I think somebody gave him a name. The gentleman that has been whining on stage. Tiny Whiny. Tiny Whiny answered and said, there was not a deficiency of counselors in our schools. Lies, lies, and more lies. I have the information at hand. And my brother could verify it. I didn't just pick it up out of the air. My brother right here could verify that in some schools we do not have guidance and counselors. That in some schools we do not have guidance, counseling assistants. That in some schools, Sister Gloria, bear me witness. Some schools have lost counselors that have never been replaced. And that is the truth since 2014. And we said to them, if mental health is so important, why is it that we have vacancies for counselors and counseling assistants in schools and you're not filling them? Instead of doing what should be done, and we need to pay attention. Not all the time we must drink water and mind with business, eh? Sometimes we must mind the business of the country because this is our business too. Right? Instead of that, we heard about teachers who already have heavy workloads, who are already providing nurturing to our country's children. We saw a group of them being pulled out and said that they will be trained to give counseling to some of the children. This is not what we are asking for. We are asking for a serious approach to mental health in our country. I challenge us to visit the Mongay Hospital and see what is going on. I challenge us to look at what has happened throughout the pandemic and see what has happened with our young people. Look at the trend with self-harm and suicides. And we're still trying to hide behind we have a proper mental health system. If you want to see improved mental health services, say forward. If you want to see counselors in schools to help your children and my children, say forward. The NDC has an overarching plan for health, not just focusing on one area, all areas of health. Now let's talk about another area. The NDC is prepared and committed to expanding the school health program. And this one is very important for me, I'm sure Brother Andrew and Sister Gloria, been teachers, and the others who have been teachers. If you have been a teacher, you will understand, should your child or my child get injured in school, it means that a teacher has to leave the school and go to the hospital with that child. And sometimes when you call the parents because of where they work or because of their work conditions, they cannot come. And so you have a teacher spending an entire day in the hospital sometimes with our children waiting for health care. The NDC is saying let us bring back the sick bays in our schools. So when our children get injured, because they are children and they will get injured, let us ensure that we have a sick bay that is adequately staffed so that these issues can be dealt with at the school level. And if it warrants bringing the child to the hospital, then we will do that. Not only will we be addressing the issues of health in the schools, we will also be addressing employment, because it means then that we will be training persons to adequately function in the sick bay. If you are in favor of sick bay in school, say forward. We have to get it right. We have to get health right. We have to get health right. And that is why the NDC is proposing the implementation, the proper implementation of the National Health Insurance. And I am saying proper because our National Health Insurance must respond to the burden of disease in our country. We cannot just take some services and put it in a basket. It must respond to the health issues that are affecting us. If you want a proper national health insurance, say forward. If you want better health care, say forward. If you want our country to move forward, say forward. If you want our productivity to increase, say forward. Mr. DJ, run the track again. I only
So
have
we
15
moving
minutes.
forward, move the country forward. So we moving forward, move the country forward. So we moving
forward,
move the country
forward.
So we moving.
NDCites! Last battle call for you tonight from me. I know you're going to get it again. This is a battle call. We ending the suffering for health care. NDCites! Nice.
Hey! Watch me. Thank you, Mr. DJ. Watch me when I put on my jacket and I change my glasses. All you know is serious business. Hey! Back here, I say yellow. Yes, it sounds like all you want some coffee. All right, watch me now. Proper thing. The man that flying the drone, check backstage for Orlando for me. Just come backstage. The fella that flying the drone, just check Orlando backstage. That is one. Now, next week, Saturday, St. Patrick's East and West having their unity cruise. That is this week, Saturday. Today is Sunday, so that is the beginning of the week. But it's the 28th, Saturday. So, get all your tickets. It'll sell out real fast. So if you ain't have your ticket yet, try and get it tonight or tomorrow, because I might sell out by tomorrow. Watch me. Would you believe that Heartbeat program today reached 8,000 views in a few hours, brothers and sisters? Give that a round of applause. We're doing good. Well, I don't even know how much toes we have on the live, because last hour there I see 3,000 and things, and But for all the people on the live, big up all your whole self. Big up all your whole self. Adiana, if all your flow home, we have contracted Channel 1000. So every big NDC event from now on, Channel 1000. Tell mommy and daddy and tanty and everybody who does stay home for these rallies, tune into 1000. And you're going to see we. All right? Now, hear me now. A man give me a list. You know. And I find all you're supposed to hear some of them things in this list. Because the people are them talking about they have safe hands. Well, let we talk safe hands now. All you ready for it? All you ready for it? So, we started with some judgments. Them safe hand men. All you remember Dorset Charles, the man on Grand Anne's Beach? He get him money yet? And we win the case. They win the case against the government. Them safe hand men. They win the case and they wouldn't pay. All you remember Gemma Bain Thomas? And she win she case. She gets she money yet? She gets she money yet? That is safe hands, ain't? Yeah. Them safe hands so tight, you can't get nothing out of them. Watch. What's about Will and Thompson? Any winning case? I can't hear you. That is safe hands. All you remember Dipcon Engineering? Dipcon, watch, first that happened long, all you can't remember. Dipcon win a set of money against the government again for dotishness. And here, what is the latest one now? What is the latest one? WRB at Great Lake. How much money they had to pay? Well, imagine that. They can't pay Gemma, she lick money. They can't pay Dorset Charles, he lick money. They're jamming William Thompson. Dipcon, well, I don't know, they must pay some. But they fine $160-something million to pay Grand Lake. All you listen to me? They pay the foreign company, but all the local people who are supposed to get their pay, they can't pay them. That is safe hands and all, they're puffing. And up to now, we don't know where they get the money from to pay. Now we want to talk about, all you remember them failed projects? Now we start. You remember that chicken farm? You know how much money they spent? They spent $8 million on that chicken farm. Brothers and sisters, they didn't even get a cackapool. Not even a feather. And $8 million spent. Where that money go? St. Mark's people only benefit from that? Tell me again, only benefit from that? What's about the shrimp farm? Where the man come on TV and say, and you have another investor, the prime minister. And then he go in court and tell people he didn't say that, you know. You know how much money we lose from that? We lose $52 million. Let me tell you something. $52 million then people take and they go. And you know what is the sad thing? We sell a set of passports for that $52 million, you know. So the country ain't benefit nothing and we have a set of citizens going around there, you know. With we passport, you know. And they can't find a man up to now. Mount Hartman. You remember Mount Hartman? We had to buy back that thing, you know, because, yeah, $36 million. Let me give you all a quick. Garden Group, $5 million. Offshore banking. Livera Project, $52 million. Kuana Bay, well, we know what kind of money did that yet. Steve Altman and the call center with them sex toys, $18 million. Call center, $4 million. When you add up, brothers and sisters. And then Coleman Boat, you remember with them, with the National Stadium that fall up like a roti in Ivan? $100 million. Brothers and sisters, I had to tell all you about them things because, you know, them fellas that them coming and talk about safer hands, but me can't see no safer hands. And all I hearing is lie. What we hearing? Tell me again. That is what we hearing. Brothers and sisters, I put on my jacket and I come out here because we had to prosecute them fellas and you can't go in court without a jacket. You understand? So, I leave it all you know.
because the next big thing is about to happen. But our next big thing is going to be preceded by another big thing. It's have a fella that write a tune that all are we singing these days. And we want to bring that man on stage to give you a little taste of the music. So brothers and sisters, put all your hands together for Mandela Links. Oh, yeah.
Oh Lord, people tired. We want a change, we tired. I said we tired and we tired and we tired and we tired and it. And they say I said we tired and we tired and we tired and we. Sing for me, so we moving. Move the country. Forward, forward, forward. How we going? Forward, forward, forward. And me people. Too long is lies and mama guys. Too long, empty promises in me eyes. Too long, you ignoring the people cries. Too long, all your days since 1995, and you know only when the election time. That's when poor people just get with all that beach and passport to selling. Them action you're telling, all you think that Grenadans begging. It is time to call up the wedding. If all you done with that, stick for me. Look. Louder. Louder. Give me the pump, everybody. 1, 2, 1. So we're moving forward. Move the country. Forward! How we going? Forward, forward, forward. How we going? Forward. Check me down. All you know is that jab jab man, right? All you love jab jab? Come. Come. You don't play jab? If I don't play jab. Okay. So hear that. I have a new song called If This Job Was a Millionaire. But I'm going to remix it tonight. So when I say, if Deacon was Prime Minister, all you answer me, if Deacon was Prime Minister. All you hear me? Let me try it. If Deacon was Prime Minister, if Deacon was Prime Minister, if Deacon was Prime Minister, the whole of Grenada would have lived better. If Deacon was Prime Minister, he would have buy back Grenada. Nobody could suffer because he is the Prime Minister. Us on the hill, just posing, watching the views like tourists. But people won't buy no more. You go see the money flow. If Deacon was Prime Minister. If Deacon was... Low. Low. Hold on. Hold on. I ain't done yet. I ain't done yet. Listen. Here. If Deacon was Prime Minister, he would have balanced the force. And them dirty politicians rob people who not time to boast. Education will be free. Marijuana would be legalized. Use it for healthcare service and the country going to rise at. If Hear me now. Low. 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 Hold on. If Deacon was Prime Minister, everything will be great. So much people will get love. They will forget about hate. Farming would get nice, no more food would spoil, and if a fisherman missing that seeded, chopper in the sky. Hear me now. Look, I ain't done. I ain't done. If the Kinwald Prime Minister was factual left and right, and public organs who work so hard, he would have treated them right. Grenada is paradise, so we having carnival twice. So come on, now go be 3 million to the artists, them go live nice. There we go. If I the rich, money would not spend. And the people there, I tell you, if the job was a millionaire. Somebody say, if the job was a millionaire, all of them is job. And I know if they're the rich, all of you that live good. When Mr. Hotspot, you might give away all your money. You is a man you like job. You would give you everything too. I love all you. Give me the tune again. Folks, if the NDC people are rich, money would have spent on all the people. And the
people them. I tell you, if the job was a millionaire,
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 he spending money like he don't care.
if the job was a millionaire,
If the job was a millionaire, he would have buy a grenade. Nobody could suffer. Job is the prime minister. Hot and Neil, posing, watching the views like poor people won't buy no more. You go to the country. If
the job was a millionaire, if the job was a
hold on,
millionaire,
that part, bring me back from the starting. I'm going, you know. Bring it back from the starting. And I want to hear all this say, if the king was prime minister. You ready? There we go. All this sing it for me.
if we're the rich,
All me NDCI.
you would have spent.
Hand in the air, hand in the air. Sing. If the king was prime minister. If the king was prime minister. If the king was prime minister. The whole of Grenada will live better. If the king was prime minister, he would have buy a Grenada. Nobody could suffer. He is the prime minister. Hot and Neil. Watching the views. Poor people. Hold on, hold on. I'll just jump in and enjoy yourself, you know. But here now, I feel I would change it. When the king is prime minister, that song better? That song better? So we go give it a try. Give me again. Let me go.
If we're the rich,
You see, eh? You see we NDC people. Let me try. When the king is prime minister. When the king is prime minister. When the king is prime minister. The whole of Grenada go live better. When the king is prime minister, he go to buy a Grenada. Nobody could suffer. He is the prime minister. Hot and Neil. Watching the views. Jump, jump, take cover. I tell you. One dick. I'm gone. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. The roof no on fire here. You know they're on fire? I know right about now. They can see down. Fire in the bottom. Hit behind them. Hit. And we moving forward, you know. And all the people who to take the propaganda and light for them, getting smart. So they're moving forward with us. Alright? So let me hear you. We're moving forward. We're moving forward. And this year we're moving forward. I love you.
so we moving.
Yeah!
Forward, move the country.
Hey!
Forward, forward, with NDC.
Thank you, Mr. DJ.
Forward.
Watch me. It have a waters over there that all you should check out there. Make sure you all sell out. If all you want water, it have water selling down right there on the side. So, if what? The water done? It what? I ain't telling you that you're crazy or what. Not up here that can happen. Brothers and sisters, well, before all you get warm there, before all you get cold there, let me tell all you something. Put all your hands together and bring to the microphone the next Prime Minister of Grenada, Karakou Abidibandi.
Forward, forward, move the country.
Brother Deacon Mitchell!
Forward, 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 move the country. Forward, 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 so we moving. Forward, 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 move the country.
People in the stands, I want you to stand up. People in the stands, I want you to stand up. People under the tent, I want you to stand up. People over here, so I want you to go, so. Go, so. I want to see you around the front. Come, so, come, so, come, so, come, so. I want to make sure the drone capture all of you. I want them to make sure that they see the movement for change. The movement for change is a come forward movement, not a in the back movement, so come forward. Over here, so come forward. Stay standing, stay standing. Shh. I want to start the thing right. And I want all you to do something for me. I want all you to do something. Shh. Bell. Shh. A little silence, a little silence. DJ man.
Mama said, learn to swim and don't you drown. 'Cause mama been swimming since her dawn. Mama said, take up your cross and follow him. And let the good Lord save you from your sin. So pray for your son. Pray for your son. Pray for your son.
Pray for your son.
Oh, because this world is getting heavy now. And it's so dark, I can't see no clouds. I'm on my knees, begging, please. Just cover me from my head to my feet. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Mama said, don't let him take you for no fool. Oh, don't let him tell you what to do now. And she said, keep an eye out for the men in blue. Come inside before the lights come on so they won't get you. Oh, so pray for your son. Because this world is getting so heavy and it's so dark, I can't see no clouds. I'm on my knees, begging, please, just cover me from my head to my feet. Pray, 'cause I really need some help sometimes, mama. I can't do it on my own. So many people are dying out in those streets. You gotta pray that it won't be me.
The question we have to ask ourselves is, do we want a society that we plan, that we set goals and work towards achieving them? Or do we want a society where we get up and say, whatever happens, happens? That is ultimately the test that we must pass. A society does not improve by chance. We don't become wealthy by chance. The question we have to ask ourselves is, do we want a society that we plan, that we set goals and work towards achieving them? Or do we want a society where we get up and say, whatever happens, happens? That is ultimately the test that we must pass. A society does not improve by chance. We don't become wealthy by chance.
We have the best picture and we like it. Young, intelligent, full of vibes. The best picture and we like it. Deacon Mitchell won't tell you no lie. We have the best picture and we like it. Young, intelligent, full of vibes. The best Mitchell and we like it. Deacon Mitchell won't tell you no lies. Oh gosh, Deacon intelligent, wow, he's so magnificent. Oh gosh, the people he represent, yes, and he will not relent. Oh gosh, the country have at heart, not an opinion, that is a fact. With Deacon the future real bright. Go vote.
River Sallee, good night. Levera, good night. Hermitage, good night. Sotez, good night. Shantimel, good night. Plains, good night. River Sallee. This Mitchell is the future. That future begins on the 23rd of June, 2022. The young woman that Lacrette talked about, who got pregnant, and as a result, had no further opportunity for education, and has been cast aside and made to feel like she's nobody. I met that young woman in a place called Child Island yesterday, 19 years old, kicked out of school in Form 4 with a young baby, has never gotten a job, has no hope, doesn't believe she has a future. But you know what this Mitchell told her? I said, give me your phone number. She said, sir, I don't have a phone. I said, hold on. I went to my van. I got her a phone. I said, charge the phone. I'm coming back on Monday to look for you. You're going to give me the phone number. I'm going to take you to Sister Margaret at Newlow. I said, you ever heard about Newlow? She said, no. I said, it's called New Life Organization. I said, do you know why it's called New Life Organization? She said, no. I said it because it gives you a second chance at life. And the state of Petite Martinique, Carriacou, and Grenada is in desperate need for a second chance at life. It is in desperate need for a second chance at growth. It is in desperate need for a second chance at development. It is in desperate need to give our young people the opportunity to move Grenada forward for the next 48 years. We're not going to do that thinking about the past. We are not going to do that with people who cry and beg others to come back when they've left the house. We're not going to do that with people who are speaking to adults and speak to them as children and offer them cake and ice cream. We're not going to do that with people who portray us as drunkards and fed people only and believe the only thing that we're interested in is 4 days of fetting. We 4 days of fetting, that's carnival time. But on the 23rd of June, it is serious business. On the 23rd of June, it is serious business. And that serious business requires us to begin the process of transformation. And nothing goes from yellow to green. Nothing goes from yellow to green. A fruit can only go from green to ripe, from green to yellow. And it's when it's yellow that it's sweet. It is when it's yellow that you can eat it. It is when it's yellow that you can make fruit punch, fruit juices. It is when it's yellow you could turn the fruits that are rotting throughout the length and breadth of Grenada into agro-processing plants so that we can make our own juice, make our own nectars, make our own fruits, make our own plants. So for the dear people of St. Patrick East and St. Patrick West, there's a reason we started up here. There is a reason we started up here. Grenada is in the 3 square miles between Point Sallee and True Blue and Lansapine. Grenada is P.T. Martinique, Carriacou, and Grenada. So Brother Andal and Brother Cornwall, I know you'd be taking all on the 23rd of June. But you don't have to fight with this political leader for your share. You don't have to fight with this political leader for your share. Because we know that the people of St. Patrick East deserve economic benefits, deserve economic growth, and deserves a tongue that doesn't sleep. So when you talk about the transformation of Sotes, when you talk about bringing the conservatory, when you talk about fixing the breakwater, making the beach calmer, you don't have to fight with me about that, Brother Andal. I am 100% there with you to ensure that we do so in Sotes. Sotes is a historic town. Sotes is a historic place. Sotes marked the beginning of the indigenous people's fight for freedom, fight for self-determination, fight to stand in the face of conquerors and say, I will die rather than surrender. And it is that spirit that the National Democratic has. So I not to sue you. I don't need to sue you. I've done enough of that. And you've lost every case. And so when I take on this case on behalf of the people of P.T. Martinique, Carriacou, and Grenada on the 23rd of June, 2022, you know what the outcome is going to be. I don't just talk from my head. That's the end product of a good education at the St. David's RC School. That's the end product of a good education at the Presentation Brothers College. That's the end product of a good education at the T.A. Marisho Community College. And that's the end product of our own indigenous first-class university, the University of the West Indies. So when I go to fight, I'm going to fight for the people of P.T. Martinique, Carriacou, and Grenada. And let me say this. We are a Christian society. If all you like Brother Lacrette didn't tell all you that, but Brother Lacrette is a pastor. And Brother Lacrette will tell you the greatest virtue is forgiveness. So Father, forgive him, for he know not what he speaks of. Because you know what is susu. I know what is susu. And if you didn't know, you could Google it. And I'm going to tell you what Google will tell you. First thing, it identifies it as a noun. And it identifies it as a West Indian word. A West Indian word indigenous to the West Indies. And it tells you this is what a susu is. Where a group of people come together and with their little savings, they all put it together. And at the end of the week or the end of the month, they take that hand and they give it to a member of the Susu group so that they could use it to finance their children's education, so that they could use it to pay down some debt that they had, so that they could use it to buy the little stove or the little ironing board that they've been wanting, but they needed the help of their brothers and sisters to come together in the Susu to make it work. So you could call me Susu. I will accept the Susu because I am going to help the people of Grenada to put the little one money together and ensure that we can give it to the next person and improve their lives. So as I said in Rukane Junction last night, and I want you to join me in the chant, Bangers bust, but Susu doesn't. Bangers bust, but Susu doesn't. Bangers bust, but Susu doesn't. So take Susu in you. River Sallee. There's a reason why I'm a calm man. There's a reason why I stay calm. If you want to lead your people, if you want to lead your country, you can't let emotion rule you. I had a physics teacher in PBC who used to tell me a silent fool is sometimes a wise man. And he that keepeth a still tongue, keepeth a wise head. So we want to talk about the things that matter to the people of Piti Martinique, Carriacou, and Grenada. No, let's talk about the things that the moving forward movement will bring to the people of Grenada. Let's talk about housing, brothers and sisters. Let's talk about the state of our housing and the lack of affordable housing for our people, particularly our young people, particularly some of our elder citizens who have no place to stay. There are two ladies who may think I've forgotten them. I haven't forgotten you. In the last 24 to 48 hours, I've been bombarded with requests for help from women who have children who either have no place to stay or about to be put on the street because they have no place to stay. Since 1985, we have not had any systematic plan to provide affordable housing for our people. All we've had is some apartment buildings that have been provided generously by the people and government of China. But these houses or apartments have been handed over to the government of Grenada. And up to now, in St. David's, for example, they have not distributed the houses to the citizens of St. David. Up to now, you can't even walk in the compound because they have security guard in the empty buildings. If you cared about your people, if you appreciated that housing is a fundamental and basic right, there would have been a transparent process. We would have gone to the communities and find the people who are most vulnerable, and we would have known what the criteria is for getting the houses. But let me tell the woman in St. David, you have to take no formal lumber under the National Democratic Congress to get your house. So when the National Democratic Congress implements its housing plan, and I'm going to tell you about it, within 12 months of forming the government, the National Democratic Congress will start a nationwide housing program. That program will be done in conjunction with the private sector, so we will have a public-private partnership. And we will commence building 500 Grenadian-style homes in each parish. And we will do so each year thereafter, so that our citizens of Grenada can live in affordable housing, not apartments, with their front yard or their backyard, that they can improve in their own image, shape, and likeness over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. So that when you retire, you can pass on a part of Grenada to your children and to your grandchildren, and you could say to them, that was the vision of the National Democratic Congress. And the houses will cater for all of Grenada. If you want a 1-bedroom house, you're getting it. If you want a 2-bedroom house, you're getting it. If you want a 3-bedroom house, you're getting it. We have to, and if you want a 5-bedroom, you're getting it. Let me make this clear. The only thing that is permanent in Grenada is the sun, the oxygen, the people, and the land. And every Grenadian must have the option to stake a piece of Grenada as their own. And the National Democratic Congress is committed to ensuring that happens. Now, they will ask where the land is. I wouldn't blame them, because they doesn't drive around and meet regular people. They don't come out of their car and walk the streets. They don't go into the villages. They don't go into the tracks and traces. So they wouldn't know that there's a lot of land in St. Patrick East that we could use for building homes. They would know that there's a lot of land in St. Patrick West that we could use for building homes. They wouldn't know that there's a lot of land in St. Andrews that we could use for building homes. If they were paying attention, they would see in South St. George, for example, that if you go through Grandans Valley, you would see that Grenadians are in desperate need of housing. And they would have gone to the people, talk with them, and say, we are going to come up with a housing plan that gives you the opportunity to live in decent houses just like we are living in. It is not only members of parliament who deserve good houses. It is not only politicians who deserve good houses. The average working man in Grenada deserves a proper roof over his head. And we have to remember we live in the hurricane belt. So between July and December, we need to make sure that the houses you're living in could withstand the hurricanes, could withstand the windstorms, the rains, that they could withstand the sea and storm surge. So the reason we need to do the housing in a systematic way, a couple of reasons. One, we need to clearly identify where our people would live and make sure that these villages have the capacity to expand to accommodate more people in the future. Two, we need to keep lands that are agricultural for agricultural purposes, because we want to make sure that we can feed our people. We want to make sure that we have lands reserved for agricultural purposes. And you have to plan to make sure that happens, because if you don't, people will take agricultural land and want to build homes in it, and it will affect our ability to produce our cocoa, to produce our coconuts, to produce our nutmegs, to produce the bananas, to produce the soursop. So that means the National Democratic Congress will implement zoning laws to keep agricultural land agricultural. And we would make sure that lands that are meant for building or residential purposes remain that way. But we also want to make sure that those lands are affordable for Grenadians. We want to make sure that Grenadians get the opportunity to own lands, so that we don't become like the west coast of Barbados, where the average Barbadian could never own land on the west coast because the price is too high. You heard what Sister Sincere said about healthcare. I want the beloved brothers and sisters who have traditionally supported the new National Party to listen to me carefully. I want the 20,000 Grenadians who did not vote in the last election to listen to me carefully. When you walk into the general hospital with your sick mother or your sick brother, and there aren't adequate doctors or nurses in the hospital, or there's a lack of supplies in the hospital, or you're sitting for 5 hours waiting to see if you're going to see a doctor, your sickness, your illness, and the lack of care doesn't ask you whether you NNP, it doesn't ask you whether you NDC, it doesn't ask you whether you TGM, it doesn't ask you who you voted for. All of us suffer from a terrible lack of adequate healthcare services in Grenada. But supporters of the new National Party, Grenadians who didn't vote, we need to talk truth to ourselves. We need to talk truth to ourselves. The only party that has been championing and talking about transforming healthcare in Grenada is the National Democratic Congress. And therefore, if you want the better healthcare, which I know you want, if you want better healthcare services, which I know you want, if you want to have a health center open 24 hours in St. Patrick, which I know you want, I am asking you to make the right choice. I'm asking you to stain your finger and put the X next to the heart so that we can ensure that when you walk into the hospital, you walk out with a beating heart. That when you walk out of the hospital, you walk out with a beating heart and not wrapped in a sheet where your friends and family have to sing bye-bye, see you bye-bye. So, on the 23rd of June, are we good? Okay, we good. Oh, all right, we good. Now, for the DJs and the mic men in Grenada, let me warn all you. When I come into a rally, charge all your batteries. Charge the battery and the mics. Because in Latan, the battery run dead. I guess I was talking too much. In Rukane, the battery run dead. So DJ men, make sure I can speak to my people and I can talk and discuss with them without your battery running dead. So charge up the batteries, DJ men, before you come. Because we don't want you to run out of energy. So, as I was saying, we all want better healthcare. We all deserve better healthcare. And the National Democratic Congress is the only party that has been speaking in concrete terms about the changes and the dramatic improvement we will make to our healthcare. And to the Grenadians in the diaspora who are listening on this live, we know you want to come back to your beloved land, but in order to come back, you too want better healthcare. So tell your friends and family in Grenada, vote for the only choice, the only party that has been championing healthcare that will make healthcare a priority, because the wealth of Grenada is the health of Grenada, and a healthy Grenada is the only way in which we will move Grenada. It is the only way in which we will move Grenada. So let me speak a little about St. Patrick East. From the time I have known myself, the road to Leverett is the same width. It's in the same condition. Bathway Beach is suffering from serious erosion. Under a National Democratic Congress government, we will take immediate steps based on expert advice to build breakwaters, to make Bathway Beach calmer, safer. We will put lifeguards on duties. We will widen the road to Leverett so that 2 vehicles can pass at the same time. We will ensure that there is more seating accommodation, more genuine toilet and bathroom facilities, so that all of the citizens of St. Patrick East, and indeed all of Grenada, could continue to enjoy Bathway. Because we need to ensure that we protect the legacy of Bathway, that we protect the beach, and that so that more Grenadians in the future can have access to that beach in a safe manner. One person drowning on Bathway is one death too much. And all of this is avoidable once we take steps to make the beach calmer and to ensure that there are lifeguards on duty all the time. We know there are some lifeguards there currently. It is not the government that is providing the lifeguards. And so under a National Democratic Congress, we recognize that our beaches are our national treasure. And our people are our national treasure. And we need to ensure that when our people go to the beaches and when they go to swim, that they are protected by having lifeguard services. So, Brother Cornwall, you don't have to fight with me. You don't have to argue with me to make sure that the residents of St. Patrick's East get their fair share. The National Democratic Congress is committed to ensuring that our rural parishes are given the same fair and equal treatment as the parish in the south. And Brother Andy, no disrespect, but Grenada is not just the south of St. George's. Grenada is Petite Martinique, Carriacou, St. Patrick, St. Mark, St. John, St. David, St. Andrew, and the rest of St. George, not just South St. George. So let me say this. We could get emotional. We could get into the gutter. We could call names. We could run down people. We could beg for people to come back. We could spread propaganda about Brother Persuader and Brother Naz and Brother Terry. But look at this team. Look at this team. Look at this team. When we get up here, we talk about the things that matter to the citizens of Grenada. And we will continue talking about the things that matter to the citizens of Grenada. So we will not be distracted. We will not be drawn into the gutter. We will not be drawn into a war or a battle. Because on your own admission, I have defeated you time and time again. And as one of the greatest statesmen and modern day politician, if not the greatest, Nelson Mandela has said, take the moral high ground. Take the moral high ground. So we will forgive you. We will pray for you. We will also seek redemption for you. We would ask your supporters who you have betrayed. When 20 years ago you said you were going to pay the public workers twice monthly, but you did not, we will ask them to still forgive you. Because the National Democratic Congress is going to fulfill the promise that you made to the public workers, and the National Democratic Congress are going to implement payment of salaries twice a month, not just to public workers, but to all the workers of P.T. Martinique, Carriacou, and Grenada. And we will ensure that if we have to pass law to ensure that it happens, we will do so. We will ask the prison officers, the teachers, the police officers, the public workers, the nurses, the Imani workers, the contract workers to forgive you. Because the National Democratic Congress is going to pay the pension. We are not going to ask no IMF whether or not we have to follow the Constitution of Grenada. The Constitution of Grenada says the pension has to be paid. The judge has said the pension has to be paid. The workers have said they want their money. The workers have said they want their money. And the National Democratic Congress will deliver the money. The National Democratic Congress will deliver the pie in the plate. And ensure that the pension is paid. Let me talk to the workers of Grenada who have been branded by this word Imani. I'm going to say to you what I said in Grand Dance 3 Wednesdays ago. You are a worker in the state of Grenada. You are a bartender. You are a cosmetologist. You are a nurse. You are a teaching assistant. You are a teacher. You are a cook. You are a chef. You are a mixologist. You are not an Imani. You are a worker just like every worker in Grenada. And just like every worker in Grenada, when you have this lawyer fighting for you, nobody will fire you if you vote for the National Democratic Congress. Workers of Grenada, I'm not calling you Imani. Workers of Grenada, I want to re-emphasize the point made by Brother Joseph Andal. Let me re-emphasize the point made by Brother Joseph Andal. The safer hand doesn't own Grenada. The safer hand is not the government of Grenada. The safer hand is not the state of Grenada. And if the safer hand was concerned about protecting your job, he would have made you permanent so that no government who comes after can fire you or threaten to fire you or intimidate you. The reason he has not protected your job by making you permanent, the reason they've kept you on contract is because they want to be able to threaten you and intimidate you and fire you when you stand up for your rights. But the Amerindians and Sotes died for their rights. Uncle Gary and your foreparents marched in the 1950s for your rights. And they did so against Englishmen and colonizers. And in 2022, no safer hand coming from the West can intimidate you and tell you you will be fired if you vote for the National Democratic Congress. You know why? Because you have a lawyer from the East who will rise up, who will stand up, who will fight, who will go to the length and breadth of Grenada to fight for you and to fight for your rights. So I can guarantee you, if you want somebody to fight for you, come the 24th of June, make sure you put that X next to the beating heart. The results means on the 24th of June, I will be the Prime Minister and I will be fighting for you. So who are you, safer hand? Who are you who benefited just like me, just like Brother Handel, from going to a primary school that our four parents fought to ensure that we had primary education? Who are you that went to the same Presentation Brothers College that I did? Who are you that went to the same University of the West Indies that I did? Who are you that the people of Grenada have forgiven time and time again, that you dare threaten our young people by telling them that if they exercise their God-given right to choice and to vote for the National Democratic Congress, that you will fire them, that you will intimidate them, that you will threaten them? Look at the mirror image of yourself and ask yourself if that is what statesmanship is about. Ask yourself if that is what upliftment and empowerment of our youth is about. Where is the training center in the Northwest? Where is the skills training center in the Northwest? Where is the tennis court in the Northwest? Where is the basketball court in the Northwest? The people of St. George, Northwest, for 38 years, you have forgiven. For 38 years, you have lived in hope. And the good Lord has heard your plight. The good Lord has heard the fact that they've openly admitted that they have made you suffer and that they intend to continue making you suffer. But though it may be long in coming, the good Lord has delivered his son, none other than Mr. Jonathan Lacrette, to lead the people of St. George's Northwest out of the darkness and into the light. The good Lord has delivered him to you so that there wouldn't be a promise maybe in 10 months that the road in Molyneux would be fixed. And that conveniently before an election is called, you finally award a contract. The good Lord will ensure that Mr. Lacrette, as your MP, will say to me, Brother Mitchell, we have to fix that road. We have to make that road a national priority, and we will put all of our efforts, sleepless days and sleepless nights, into making sure that the road is restored as quickly as humanly possible. The people of Brizan in St. George's Northwest. When we talk about a national housing plan, it is because we've seen your plight in Brizan. It is because we've seen the condition of the houses. It is because we recognize that despite the fact that you have forgiven and forgiven and given chance and chance and chance, no effort has been made to address your housing needs. To the youth of St. George Northwest, we know that if you're 25 years old, as a youth from St. George's Northwest has told me, he has seen no improvements in his constituency for his entire life. And so I said to him, brother man, have no fear. Because on the 23rd of June, you have an opportunity to begin the process of creating the change and creating the transformation in St. George's Northwest. And as the old people used to tell us, we know if the fish rotting, we know if the fish rotting, we know if the fish rotting, which party does rotten from first? So, Brother Lacret, my plea to you on behalf of the citizens of St. George's Northwest is to please deliver them. Please deliver them out of the darkness and into that golden, bright, shining heart. A heart of love, a heart of compassion, a heart of caring. Because we want to ensure that at the end of your sojourn as the Member of Parliament for St. George's Northwest, there will be no hungry mouths in St. George's Northwest. There will be no broken road in Molineux in St. George's Northwest. There will be no women who can't find a place to live in St. George's Northwest. And there will be no young persons who've been denied of an opportunity in St. George's Northwest. And so, the process of change is upon us. The process of change is upon us. I will not get weary. I will not get tired. I will not doubt or hesitate or think twice to continue leading this great team that has brought the wind of change not just to Grenadian politics, but a wind of change to regional politics. Because believe me, the region is watching Grenada, because the region knows that Grenada always sets the trend. The region knows that Grenada has a history where the ordinary man and woman rises up against tyranny, rises up against people who do not govern for and on your behalf. So on the 23rd of June, set the example to the region by ensuring that you go out in record numbers, by ensuring that you take your brother, your sister, your aunt, your nenen, your grandmother, your neighbor, call all of them out and ensure that you go out in numbers and you put Grenada back on the path of development that started with Sir Eric Matthew Gary, that was continued with the revolution, and that has been on pause for the last 23 years, by reigniting the spirit of Grenada, and saying with me, we are moving. We are moving. In the stands, I can't hear you. We are moving. We are moving. DJ.
So we're moving forward, forward, forward. Move the country forward, forward, forward. So we're moving forward, forward, forward. Move the country forward, forward, forward. So we're moving forward, forward, forward. Move the country forward, forward, forward. So we're moving forward, forward, forward. Move the country forward.
Well, watch now. Brothers and sisters, let's hear it again for the next Prime Minister. Watch me. Next week, we in Tempe playing field. We in Tempe playing field. Well, Tempe going and lean next week. But let me tell all you something. The man say how they go in and bury us. Well, brothers and sisters, we ain't taking that so. Watch me. We tired of this sufferation. We tired of apologizing. We tired of turning the other cheek. Mr. DJ, bring the tune.
So long, bye-bye.
Yes.
So long, bye-bye.
They're going on the 23rd.
Goodbye to my pain and my sorrow. So long, so long. Y'all catch it, everybody? Come on, say it.
So long, bye-bye. And then feel all you need to go. So long, bye-bye.
Goodbye to my pain and my sorrow. Goodbye to my pain and my sorrow. Let's go.
So long, bye-bye.
Everybody in the building say so long. So long, bye-bye.
Tell them, tell them, tell them.
So long, bye-bye.
They gotta go.
Goodbye to my pain and my sorrow. So long. So long, bye-bye. Just one more time.
Yes. Watch me. We not taking no sufferation. We not turning no cheek. We sending them back where they belong, brothers and sisters. They do enough. They do enough. They're going to go into retirement and let the young people take charge. Take Grenada forward. Mr. DJ,
So
we
we
going
moving
forward.
forward,
Yes.
forward, forward. Move the country forward, forward, forward. So we moving forward, forward, forward. Move the country forward, forward, forward. So we
Mandela.
moving forward, forward, forward. Move the country forward, forward, forward. So we moving forward.
Watch me. Let me tell all you something. They have a special fella who viewing home. Brother German, we know you're watching us. Brother German has helped a lot of young people in the basketball and the sports field. And he's not well, but he's home supporting the National Democratic Congress, and we want to send a shout out to German.
Country
Yes.
forward,
And
forward.
so,
So we moving
brothers and
forward,
sisters,
forward, forward.
Mr. DJ, we want all to reach home safe. Yes? Because you know where we're going to be next week. So, to carry all your home safely, I'm turning you over to Mandela Leagues.
NDC, so all you feeling? Hold on. Somebody say freedom is coming. Freedom is coming. And I want you all to say, I love Grenada. Say, I'm standing up for my children and my children. Let me go. Oh Lord, they want to change. Whoa, yo. I said, we tired. I can't hear you. Why we moving? Let me go. Forward. Stop. You know something? I feel so good tonight to see so much of young people here. You know why I feel good to see so much of young people here? Because all you realize that life is not a game. Life is like a stage. We are the actors. The role we play today will tell what we will be tomorrow. And all you fighting for all your country. I want to see young people do that. I love it from my heart. You understand? What good for the goose, good for the gander. All you have to be somebody too. Not them alone could eat. All you have to eat too. All you tired being hungry? Well, they call all you hungry, not enough.
So it's time for we to set the country free. Everybody go be happy after today. And I tell you, next month, who we voting for? Grenada will be a better place. Listen to me. I'm supposed to be out of the country now. But let God's will be done. This is my home. My wife and my 2 kids there in the back. God blessings to my 4 children home. 7 of them. And you see me, 7 kids. But I'm fighting for my children. I'm young and I'm strong. And it's know how to do it. I don't waiting until I get old. And we don't putting them back there for we can get no pension. Are you tired? Are you tired? Are you tired? Give me the tune. Jump, 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 jump. Lord.
And me people them.
I tell you, when Dickens was Prime Minister, if Dickens was Prime Minister, when Dickens was Prime Minister,
He's spending money like he don't care.
Joe, if the job was a millionaire, he would have buy back Grenada. Nobody could suffer cause job is the Prime Minister. House on the hill, posing, watching the views like tourists. Poor people won't buy no more. You go see the money flow. If the job was a millionaire, if the job was a millionaire, if the job was a millionaire,
He's spending money like he don't care.
Low. I tired walk and see vagrants in the streets. And I started see drug addicts. You tired see vagrants in the streets? All the tired see drug addicts? All the tired see drug addicts in the streets? And vagrants? All you young people are what more? Drugs don't bring you forward, it bring you back. It's slowing down your process. So keep away from drugs, young people. Value all your life. Somebody say, NDC! 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 Who are you voting for? Come. I'll give you one more. When the Clinton Prime Minister, healthcare going to be booming, the vagrants them on the street would have a place to live in. Drug addicts go in rehab. Everything will be large. Ambulance wouldn't be no problem. We're going to have about 20 of them. Let me go. Let me go.
Let me see you.
Show me your yellow. Show me your yellow. Let me go.
We
voting for Laco. We voting for. I can hear you. Say we voting for. We voting for. Hold on. Check it down. All you know something? He taught me in school, One thing about him, I could say, as a teacher, he brings himself right down so to you to make you understand. He always teaches us life is what matters. One life you have, so you have to live it right. And I love you for that. I love you from the bottom of my heart. God bless you, my brother. Let me go. Give me tombstone now. So when
hear me now.
All the folks. Let me go.
Let me see you. Show me the yellow.
Show me the yellow. Hold on. We going left. Then we going right. Let me go. Left, right. Faster. Left, right. But they could never beat us. Are you mad? Walk out. Crazy people. Are you sing for me? Real job. Walk out. Up to sing. So when put job. I can hear you, Madwana.
Put job on me tombstone. What man? I'm telling you, black blood in me vein. Black blood in me vein. Black blood in me vein. Mass we going Black blood in me vein. Black blood in me vein. Black blood in me vein. She pick up a jab man. He give her some jab flex. 9 months later, well, I was born. Right in a jab hospital. I was Christmas jab priest. I went to a jab college. That's why I did like this.
Yeah. Good night, everybody. See you next week in Tempe. Mr. DJ, we going forward. Yeah. Oh, we tired. PU 579. Go and check your vehicle immediately. PU 579. Check your vehicle immediately. Thank you.